Okay, we're getting some people in now. I'll wait until if I get a few more. Okay, I think I might as well start. Good as time as any, eh? Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of my Instagram Live interview series. Firstly, I want to take the time now to say thank you to everyone who's, come along, spent the time to, watch me interview different people in the genealogy community, be it from big names like MyHeritage or like genealogists running their own businesses. And I did feel a bit uneasy about doing them at first, but I'd say thankfully the kind of feeling of, oh, this is such a good idea, went fairly quickly. So that did help. But secondly, this will be the second last episode of Series 1. Yes, Series 1. I'm starting Series 2 after Christmas. The 19th, which is next Saturday, will be my last interview of this year and this series. So it's not all over. I still have people lined up, and I will be continuing them on after the 19th, sometime in January 2021. So that's kind of mainly all the things I need to say. So I think I may as well go live with today's guest, who is a pioneering genealogist who I can happily say is one of my colleagues, if you like, of the Hidden Branch. And it is... And there we go! Hello, Logan.
Hi, how's it going?
All good. How are you?
Good.
So this would probably be your first interview, probably on Instagram, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Oh, well, let's make it a memorable one, shall we? So I figured I'd let you start off introducing yourself to our audience and telling them about yourself.
Okay, so hi, my name is Logan Fisher. I am 13 years old. I've been doing genealogy for 5 years, since I was 8. I live in North Idaho, and I do a lot of genealogy every day.
Right, and now comparing myself to you, I've only been doing it for 3 years, but the fact that you've been doing it for 5 years since you were 8, that in itself is a unique quality, because I don't think, like any young genealogist that I've met so far, I don't think I've met anyone that kind of started that young, because I'd say definitely, especially at the age of 8, that wouldn't have been the first thing that I'd say most kids would take up. But I mean, there's always going to be someone that would. So when you were like, what made you get into it? Because obviously, like I said, it's kind of an odd thing to do at such a young age, but it's not impossible.
Mm-hmm. I don't really know. I got a family search account when I was 8 and started indexing, and then it went on from there. It just started growing from there.
Wow. Well, I'd say you definitely like the indexing I do for family search when I do get a chance. I seem to land myself in on the very difficult ones. So the fact that you're, putting yourself in there at the side of indexing is quite good, especially I think anyway. So obviously now you've been doing genealogy for about 5 years now. What kind of resources would you have used or found most helpful in your research?
So I've been using Ancestry and MyHeritage a lot for sources and records and stuff for my research. Family Search too. Basically all the big genealogy websites help me with all my research and stuff.
Right. Uh, yeah, because I think I saw like a question fairly recently, just kind of saying, what site or what is your like go-to site? And I was kind of thinking to myself, right, there is no kind of go-to site for me because like you depending on what it is, I vary. It could be Ancestry to find my past to my heritage to family search even. So I don't necessarily use one thing, but it definitely helps because one thing might have a certain record set and another mightn't have it. So it's definitely if you use more than one site in your search, I think. So you're kind of I'd say young and emerging. So to say the least, definitely. What like current projects or ventures are you currently pursuing? I know of one, but you could possibly be doing more.
So I'm with the Hidden Branch, so I work with them. I don't have any research projects right now. I've been Christmas time, so I put a hold on them. So I don't really have anything right now. I just more personal research and stuff.
Ah, yeah, definitely, because obviously, as I'm sure you'll know this as you get older, it is kind of a bit busier the older you get, and the so like for you get in your academic life. Especially for me now, like before I started this school year back in September, like before September, I was kind of going like, yeah, I got loads of time. I'll get plenty of time to do genealogy this year. I have not. It is very, I've only kind of been able to do one, like I've mainly can only focus on my student life at the moment. Like as much as I really, really, really want to do genealogy, I cannot. So it is a bit frustrating in that sense because I would really like to, lay down some time and do a bit because, I mean, it's one of the things I like to do in free time and I don't have much free time, which is annoying me a little, but I will make time over the Christmas. I've already said it. I don't care what anyone says. I'm doing it over Christmas. Now I'll stop ranting. So obviously, with the amount of experience you've accumulated so far, what you know would be something that you would have liked to have known when you started that you so like learned as you went on? Because like for me, I wish I knew, you know to use irishgenealogy.ie because that's where most of my ancestors' records were. But it wasn't until like a year and a half after I started that I heard about it, and I thought, okay, I really wish I actually started using this.
Mine probably actually knowing how to do research properly. I've done a lot of research in the last year and a half now. I've been going through different research methods and I finally found one and I would just like to know how to research better back in the day.
Definitely, I definitely think that's a very valid point because it's something that you need to know how to do, and if you don't like do it properly the first time around, you may be filling in the blanks quite a bit afterwards. So now, for me, like I've said many times, and I will say it again, I am a sucker for an old photo. Like, what in for you? What would be your kind of favorite aspect of genealogy? So, would it be like looking at records, looking at photos, learning stories?
Mine probably looking at records, doing the research.
Right. So you're kind of the type that likes looking at the records an awful lot.
Yes.
That's nothing wrong with that. Because I definitely think there should be like a little personality test or a little, so like when they kind of so like see what kind of learner are you. So like it should be so like a little what kind of a researcher are you? So are you one that likes looking at records more, stories or photos? That I definitely should be out there. So now with this, if you don't want to share it, that's fine. I can easily move on. What would be an interesting story or an event that has happened in your family history that you've discovered about your ancestors?
Well, let me think. I don't really know of any. Only thing I know is that I just found out an ancestor of mine was on the Mayflower. I mean, Mayflower. He's a I can't say it right now. He was on the Mayflower.
Not a problem. That, yeah, that is definitely an interesting find. If you can, find your way up there and then go like, wow, my ancestor was actually part of this, and I'm happy to say it. It's definitely a nice thing to be able to say. But like one thing that I still like see come up a lot that so like just because you have an ancestor on the Mayflower, it may so like it's not the be all and end all. But definitely, oh my god, if like your I can tell you now your family history is probably much more interesting than mine. Like I when it comes to finding things in newspapers, nothing. They weren't there. So it's only like one or two of my ancestors I've been able to find anything about in newspapers or something, and people are saying, "Oh, I've been able to find so much about my ancestors in newspapers." I'm kind of going like, "Well, if you tried finding mine, you'd be looking for an awful long time because you wouldn't find near enough anything on them." So, uh, as you kind of said, you're kind of the type of researcher that likes looking at records more. So this one you might like to ponder on. Uh, what type of record would do you like the most, and why would you like it?
Either census records or obituaries, because for census records you have all the information for residents. You can have estimated birth year and then names and residents. Then obituaries, because they put in the death date, burial dates, they put in all the birth dates and family members and stuff.
Definitely. That I can find is definitely a wealth of information. And if it was like an Irish census point of view, like, and I'm sure it's not just Irish census, American censuses will have it too, is so like day ages will be, you know, changed. Some might necessarily be truthful, uh, as I have found many a time. So I'm, yeah, this is definitely something I think you'd find or think to yourself over a while. Like it's not just something you can go like, right, this is what this and this means to me. So as you said, you've been doing genealogy for 5 years. Like, what does it mean to you? Like,
I don't know, it's like one of my only things I like to do, the 3 things I like to do, and genealogy is like one of those things which I just do. I just like it a lot.
definitely, and it's something that is that it's a question that is so tangible. It has a different meaning for everybody. So, like to me, it's kind of learning about more where I came from because now, obviously, now I can easily answer that question. It's County Mayo and County Waterford is primarily where mine came from. So I kind of know where they came from. But it's also a sense of knowing who they were, what their lives were like, and just getting an overall sense of an insight into their lives, which you can find through records. So, I, I, I definitely think that you would be an inspiration to many kids your own age, because if the fact that you've been doing genealogy since um, the age of 8, it's something that kids may go like, "Oh, I like doing this," but I don't know any kids that do this. So, if to any young kids or teenagers or young adults even who may watch this in the future, what advice would you give to someone starting out in genealogy?
Learn the process.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a very valid point. Oh, we have a question here. I didn't notice that. Does genealogy help you feel closer to your ancestors?
Kind of. I'm not sure about that.
Right. Uh, but no, it's generally whatever you think. It's kind of your opinion. You're allowed to say that. And I like where did your ancestors come from? Because I like the fact that you kind of said that they came from the they were on the May. One of them was I can't talk today. One of your ancestors were on the Mayflower. So have you been able to track them back any further, or does it kind of just stop at a dead end there?
I haven't researched him yet. It just popped up on my family search discovery. It's like, oh, we may have found a ancestor on the Mayflower. So
Oh
yeah,
right, it was fairly recent then.
yeah. So it was like last week.
Oh right, so really fairly recent. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you have your own business now, don't you?
Yes.
Want to tell us more about that?
Um, I needed money, so my mom's like, "Oh, you should probably start a business because you're smart enough to do it." So I'm like, "Okay." Well, I just started doing it.
Ah, yeah, definitely. I definitely think you're more than capable, maybe much more capable than me, to pursue a business angle to things. And obviously, uh, one thing I find that is very true, even to now, if you do, I think I'm trying to remember where I saw, but it was like a quote or something. If you do something that you really love as a job, you never work a day in your life because it's something that you really like doing and you're really passionate about, and right, I really like doing this, so it doesn't feel like work. So obviously I'm sure for you it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Now usually I have more questions, but I don't. So if anyone wants to ask any questions now, please do so, because I think it's definitely a guess that you really want to kind of ask questions more to and get their opinion on things. Oh, okay. I see we have a question from a very noticeable figure in the genealogy community. Hello, Mia. Uh, I had to do that. So from Mia Jensen, what is your process in genealogy?
I use the research like a pro method from Family Locket. It's just something that I can easily follow and just I can understand it.
So it's kind of easy for you to understand, and it's not kind of, it doesn't use like language in it that is hard to understand.
Yes.
Good, I may take a look at that because I might need some tips. But where do you okay, this one came up which I asked last week, that I thought of now. Do you, in your own opinion, feel that there is, adequate places and or forums or websites or things to, get more young people interested in genealogy?
There could be more, and there could always be more.
Yeah. And where do you see genealogy going in the future? Do you kind of see it going leaps and bounds, or what would you think?
I kind of think it's gonna go up and down because just depends how the world is. It's going up right now, so there could be a lot more or a lot less in the future.
Okay, so we have a question. If I do this right, I will be so pleased with myself. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was doing this right or not.
Let me think. I help my club out for a church. I go ahead and they set themselves up some family switch accounts so they can start doing indexing and start the family trees. And I only have two friends I actually really hang out with, so I don't really help a lot of people in my age group. It's more church and the hidden branch.
Right, that's okay. I think I did that right. And I think we have another question coming in saying, how about indexing?
I don't do a lot of indexing now. I do a lot more research, but when I index, I usually do a couple batches.
Right. Yeah, much more than I ever get around to doing, that's for sure. So I think I may end this soon. So if anyone has some last minute questions they'd like to get in, please do so now. And while we're waiting, for those who may have missed this at the start, this is my second last interview for series 1. So my next interview, which I will do next Saturday, will be the last one I'll do before Christmas, and the next one I will do is probably in January 2021 sometime. So I really do appreciate I really do appreciate all the people that have joined in and decided to watch all this, and also joined in to see kind of see notable figures in the genealogy community answer questions and just, get their perspective on their genealogy journey, and just the overall general support for me doing this, because like I said at the start, I was kind of a bit uneasy, let's say, about doing this, but I definitely think it was a nice way to jump out of my comfort zone, which I'm glad I did. So let's see, January. Okay, so maybe early January, second week of January, that I might start them up again. But regardless, I will announce my next interviewee tomorrow. So we have another one coming in saying, any chance you were interested in ultimately joining a lineage society? You might be eligible if you can prove the Mayflower ancestor.
I haven't really thought about that yet. I haven't really found any right now. I'll probably start looking soon.
Okay. Well, I think that is the last of the questions coming in. And to anyone that may watch this in the future, and if you have any questions for Logan, please drop them in the comments section on this post when it eventually becomes one. And I will tag Logan in them and he can answer them for you. So, without further ado, I'm going to close the live, if I can even talk. So, thank you everyone for coming to this Instagram live, and thank you, Logan, for coming on. I genuinely loved uh, this interview, and I'm sure it will not be your last interview. So, see you, everyone.
Thank you.